Welcome back to the Unacceptable News. I'm your host, Justin Bush. What weighs more, a ton of feathers or a ton of bricks? Today's story is about ghosts. Today's story is about ghosts. So, I've only seen one thing that I would call a ghost. And I never talk about it, because I've also had close encounters with UFOs. And I don't want people to know I've seen a ghost or whatever I saw. I've had run-ins with these UFOs many times. I've had many witnesses, family members, girlfriend, brother, dad. When these UFOs land, they leave landing marks, trace evidence. When you get abducted, they leave bruises. There was a time not that far back, there was a time not that long ago that, I was taken and they injected something in my hand, and the next day there was blood, that dripped down my hand and onto, the bedspread and things like that. So it's a real physical phenomenon. Whatever the UFO situation is, it has a physical effect. In fact, a recent episode we referenced a Defense Intelligence document outlining physiological effects to people from close encounters with UFOs. So I am always reluctant to talk about ghosts or demons or any of that sort of thing in relationship to UFOs. But unfortunately, they are intertwined. I myself have had many experiences with, things moving on their own, shadow people, orbs, hearing voices, things like that, where clearly something is going on that most people would call ghosts. They would call it poltergeist, ghost, paranormal, whatever you want to call it. And so today's story is really about orbs, shadow people, these strange voice phenomena, things like that. A lot of people in the UFO community believe that this situation is a interdimensional situation. So you have dimensions and we're all kind of coexisting simultaneously. And for whatever reason, these energies, these beings, these creatures can kind of transcend dimensions. And that would make perfect sense. It would also make sense if there are fluctuations in time. We know that gravity is not constant, even though we've taught our kids that for a long time. So if you have a fluctuation in the gravitational field, like for instance on Earth, our magnetosphere interacting with the gravitational field, you might have these situations where there's actually a really great video of what they believe to be a Civil War ghost walking around on a Civil War battlefield, and it looks just like it. So if you have fluctuations in gravity, then you will have fluctuations in time. And since we know photons move at the speed of light, everything you see is a reflection of a light source. So if you had this person walking around and the sunlight reflecting off their body and there's some sort of temporal anomaly, then that light could go through that time warp and end up in a completely different time at the same location, or in a completely different location at the same time. It's really anyone's guess as to what's going on. So let's look at some orbs. Now, people report, and I myself have had this happen to me, where these orbs are flying over you. Sometimes they're shining a light down on you, and there is this intense emotional feeling. Sometimes it's bliss, sometimes it's intense fear or dread. They initiate a emotional, a physical reaction just by their presence. And we also know shadow people. In fact, the Las Vegas alien sighting, we have a great video that shows this strange shadow phenomena, so we could show you that.
Which the Kenmore family is also there. Like, this is so critical because you can clearly see through the slots in the fence that there is a leg motion moving from the right to the left side of the screen. And clearly it is behind there. So this isn't just like a head floating in space. This is a head of that is somehow that does not have full opacity, that the opacity of the head of the...
We also have these videos of things moving on their own, lights coming on all by themselves.
Scary friend.
You know, we know that there have been a lot of interactions with electronics. I have experienced that myself. I had a radio that would malfunction and start playing this strange sound, you know, during these UFO events. In fact, I've been chased by a UFO in a car one time, and the same thing happened. The radio in the car started playing this metallic sound that sounded like it was like played through like a tube or something, like if you took a can and kind of talked into it. So you have these strange phenomena, these electronics that are being manipulated.
Funny anymore, man. Dude.
You have these strange shadow creatures. You have these orbs that are, not only are the orbs showing up, but you also have orbs in close proximity to what look like physical UFOs. We'll show you a clip of that. With the UFO situation, we have this strange phenomena that is deeply attached with shadow people, orbs, manipulation of electronics, cars, nuclear missile silos, just all of this evidence that there is a profound connection between whatever this phenomena is and then an unseen influence, like an unseen influence that a lot of people will call ghosts. And so really the question is, are these ghosts responsible for the UFO phenomenon? What is the interaction between a supposed ghost sighting and a UFO sighting? A lot of people believe gray aliens are demons. The UFO situation is completely intertwined with the paranormal, and we can't tell them apart. So what do you think? If you'd like to support our channel, go to the description or in the pinned comment down below. That's the unacceptable news. Don't like, don't subscribe, just run.